not a nerd. Rocks the screen, she's a straight shooter, if you know what I mean. Dishing out the truth about the royal scene with a fist of fire and a voice so keen. Hitting hard with those altar brick vibes, no sugarcoating, no false alibis. Tearing down the lies she despises. Yorkshire lass with fire in her eyes. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. In a sea of fake, she's a beacon bright, unraveling the drama without a fright. Armored with honesty, ready to fight. Injustice quivers at her sight. Unbreakable will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. Will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. How y'all doing? How has your weekend been? Let me go through with you what you are to expect for today's Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 23rd of March, 2025. And oh my goodness, let's kick off first and foremost with the Diana Royal Cash clash between Prince Harry and Prince William. So over the weekend, the headlines have been that apparently Prince Harry is working on a Princess Diana documentary for Netflix. The question, though, is, can Prince William block Prince Harry for cashing in on the memory of their late mother, Princess Diana? You will not believe the research that I found on this. It's pretty interesting, so stay tuned on that. Then next up, the second story for today's Daily Nerd Live will be... This is so fun. Trailer trash. Megxie has been labelled as straight outer a caravan trailer trash, and more in a brand new Katie Hopkins rant, which we're just going to have a laugh at. And if you want even more laughs, then stay tuned for my third story for today's Daily Nerd Live, because, I'm going to go through what you guys missed from Meghan Markle being called out by none other than a Catholic priest. Yeah. As if it couldn't get any more bizarre in the world of Megxie and Hazza. A Catholic priest is now calling them out. Now, the headlines have been all over, watch Megxie's show for penance during Lent. But there's other things that this Catholic priest has said that you guys may have missed. So we're going to go through all that for today's Daily Nerd Live for Sunday, the 23rd of March, 2025. And you guys may have noticed, as I said on Friday, YouTube have introduced a brand new feature for us content creators, which are super chat goals. I tested it out on Friday and I'm going to test it out again today, just to be transparent and let you guys know. In the next hour, okay, if we get at least 10 super chats, okay, 10 sugar bucks, then I will do a bonus Hazard and Megsy story for you during this live stream. So if we get 10 super chats, 10 sugar bucks, then I will do a bonus Hazard and Megsy story for this live stream. I've already got it lined up. If you want to hear the bonus story, you guys know what to do. With that being said, those watching live, thank you so much for tuning in. Anyone that's watching on the replay, you guys should know by now. Fast forward 5-10 minutes and I will have started the first topic for today's live stream. Just a couple of thank yous before I kick off the first topic for today's live stream. Aussie 2025, thank you so much for gifting a leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leader, courtesy of Aussie 2025. They didn't just gift once. Oh, no. Gifted twice and also sent my favourite super chat sticker, the Gin Donkey Fighting Arts moment. I love it. Thank you so much for doing that before this live stream even started. Thank you also to Kizzy Arsenu for your $2 sugar bucks. And my goodness, this is your first super chat ever on a live stream. So guys, hearts in the chat right now for Kizzy, because my goodness, it blows me away every single time one of you guys are able and generous enough to send, some sugar bucks my way. And even more insanely, like doing it for the first time ever on a live and choosing this community to do so. So Kizzy, I'm really honoured and very grateful that you chose this channel to do it first on. So thank you so much. We also have Aussie 2025 for the $2.99 sugar bucks saying he needs to get over himself. I know. Prince Harry definitely needs to get over himself. Can Prince William block this documentary for even happening? Stay tuned. I'll be answering that question in a moment. We also have SM, the big SM, in the chat, gifting a whopping 5 leaderships to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leaders, courtesy of the big SM. And guys, that only means one thing. Today's gifting wars for this stream have officially begun. So thank you so much to Stephen Magnus, otherwise known as far as I'm concerned as the Big SM, for kicking off today's gifting wars. Guys, we're already on a whopping 5 new leaders for today's stream. We're just 5 more away from double figures and getting to 10 new leaders for today's stream. So who else is going to pick up that sword and shield and be like, this ain't how you do a gifting war. This is how you do a gifting war. Guys, we may soon find out. We also have Elizabeth Westaway. Thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, and just thank you so much for sending something in. That's very kind of you. King Bob, hey up, King Bob. Thank you so much for your $2 sugar bucks, saying, here's to one less super chat needed. My goodness, you guys definitely want this bonus Hazza and Megsy story. Keep the super chats coming. We need just 10 of them in the next hour for me to give you the 4th bonus story that I've got lined up for you. Lisa Boo, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, saying much love and hit that like. Yes, make sure you hit that like button. It's completely free and it helps our community, because the more people that like the streams and like the videos, the more that YouTube pushes our content out, so even more people get to know, as far as we're concerned, the truth about the gruesome twosome. Nikki King, thank you so much for the wonderful £2 sugar bucks and the thumbs up. I'm appreciating it. Thank you so much. Mic drop Lisa, love your new hairdo. Well, thank you so much for noticing. I got it done yesterday. To be fair, I just got sick and tired of my hair. It was just too much. It was like down here, it was just so much of it. There was a lot, and it just was, it was just a mess at the end of the day. And so I was like, yeah, I need to get rid of it. So I went to my hairdressers yesterday, and she was like, okay, we'll cut it up to here. I'm like, do that. Here. She was like, you sure? I'm like, get rid. I think I've got my colour next Thursday. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna get my hair coloured. TX Kit Kat. Oh my goodness, TX Kit Kat. Thank you so much for the $1.99 sugar bucks. And thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership for the last 5 months, saying the sugar bucks are rolling in. Yes, they are rolling in. You guys really want this bonus Hazza and Megsy story, the fourth one for today's Daily Nerd. Keep them rolling in. Shaz, thank you so much for the £5 sugar bucks, saying loving the new haircut, Steph. Looking rather gorgeous tonight. Well, thank you. I wanted to make a little bit of an effort. What do you think? And SM, Stephen Magnus, the big SM. Thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, saying Megan responded to the USPTO in 5 days this time. Oh, now that is interesting. Yeah, because I've been reading a story that and this ain't the fourth bonus one, okay? So I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. But yeah, I've read a story where apparently she is really kicking off and going nuclear on her team. But yet again, screwing up on the trademark application for as ever, as in not being signed. The application wasn't signed yet again. It's like history repeating itself. It's like Groundhog Day all over again. But we're led to believe that Megsy has a freakish attention to detail. Yeah. Yeah, that so much that, you know, she misses out the most important thing, which is to sign the freaking document. Oh my goodness. We've got MPNG Creed Menace jumping in today's gifting war, gifting 5 leaderships to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say A up to our new leaders, courtesy of MPNG Creed Menace. And oh my goodness, Flapper27 saw that and was like, I see you 5, and I'm going to double it. So whopping 10 new leaderships gifted to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say A up to our newest leaders, courtesy of NPNG Creed Menace, but also as well Flapper27. Hearts in the chat though for Flapper27, because my goodness, they went double figures in today's gifting wars, and it's definitely heating up. We're already a whopping 20 new leaders for today's stream. We're just 5 more away from a quarter of a century, 25. So who else is going to jump into today's gifting wars and help us get to 25, a quarter of a century? Guys, we may soon find out. We may soon find out. With that being said, let's kick off with the first story for today's live stream, which is, yes, can Prince William actually block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana? Now, I've done some research on this, and you will be really, really surprised as to what I found. Now, whilst I'm going through the main topic for today's live, I'll get to your super chats as and when I can. But here we go. Prince Harry has been offered a new Netflix series on Princess Diana 30 years after her passing. And so he's been offered the chance to make a documentary to mark the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's passing, as senior Hollywood sources revealed. Now, this would air in 2027. It's a 2 to 3 part series. And apparently it's part of a new long-term Netflix deal for the Sussexes. Now, there's a lot of conversation right now that somehow this Netflix contract is actually going to be extended. Stay tuned. I'm looking into it. I don't think it's as clear and as simple as the news is reporting it on. Stay tuned. I may be able to get all the information in for a video for tomorrow on that one. But in the meantime, an LA source is turning around and essentially saying that the idea is that it would be a solo project for Harry, who would be a co-executive producer, as well as hosting and narrating the series. He is uniquely placed not only to talk about the woman he knew as his mother, but also to examine her role as an enduring social and cultural icon, still beloved by so many. The production executive added, it's felt that this is something he would handle with passion and sensitivity, offering fresh insights into not only her life, but also her lasting legacy. The source added, nothing has been agreed yet, but this is being talked about in an extremely positive way. Harry might even see it as a stepping stone to building bridges with William and the rest of his family. Now, I'm reading this, right? And I'm thinking, dude, this is just another way for him to cash in on the royal family and this time Princess Diana. And so it's not just me that's thinking this, but it's a lot of other people that are thinking this as well. So I'm looking at the reactions on Twitter, and the first one that comes up here is from my good friend Sue Smith. Make sure you subscribe to her on YouTube. And she's turning around and saying, look, Prince Harry offered new Netflix series on Princess Diana 30 years after death. Since she passed when he was 12, and we've already proven from his book that his memory is skewed. What more could a man-child, illicit substance addict have to add? And this is the thing, right? Yeah, he could do a documentary on Princess Diana. Could Prince William stop him? Stay tuned, I'm going to get onto that shortly. But we've read his book Spare, and we've already figured out that his memory ain't that good. There's a lot of holes and there's a lot of contradictions as to what he wrote in Spare that indicates that his memory is absolutely shot. Now, let me be absolutely clear on this, right? My memory's shot as well. I don't have a great memory. I am one of the first people literally to admit this. I'm really bad at remembering people's names. I'm really bad at remembering sometimes stories that my friends will tell me. I'll have to ask them to tell me again. The reason for that, to be completely honest with you guys, is because with me suffering from pancreatitis, I had to be on morphine for quite a while, okay? Quite a while. When I say quite a while, it was a number of years. Including at one point buprenorphine, and that just skewed my brain to the point where my memory used to be really great, not so much anymore, and I really do believe that's down to the morphine and the buprenorphine that I had to take on a very, very regular daily basis for years back in the day. So let me be clear on this. I'm the first to admit, my memory's totally shot. Like, I'm really, really bad sometimes at remembering things. It looks like Prince Hazard is too when you read his book Spare. Now, before we continue with this story, Emma Spencer, thank you so much for the £1.99 sugar bucks. Really appreciate that. Saying, looking gorgeous tonight, Stef. Gold makes you glow. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to say. Let's get on to at Tribes Britannia, Prince and Princess of Wales, saying Prince Harry is trying to cash in on his mother's corpse, a mother he barely remembers and knew even less. He is disgusting. I think that's a little bit too strong. Okay, respectfully. I just think it's crass. I think it's crass. I think it's distasteful. I would say that. I do think it is distasteful, especially coming from Prince Harry, where, you know, over the years, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, he's thrown the royal family under the bus for money. I mean, come on, that has a Megsy mockumentary, his book Spare. Like, no. To me, I think it's more distasteful than anything else. But it does give rise to this accusation that not only are they now, you know, being accused of cashing in on the royal family over the years, but now cashing in on the late Princess Diana. Now, we've got Sabira Loin here saying, look, in other words, I'm willing to sacrifice my dead mother in order to save our deal. That's one way to get your brother to never talk to you again. Just keep pushing, H. Make the world hate you more and more. Because if he thinks doing a Princess Diana documentary on Netflix is going to make us endear to him, it's not. To me, it's totally distasteful and absolutely crass. And Prince William, of course, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, will not welcome this news in any way, shape or form. He just won't. I can't imagine Prince William celebrating the notion that Hazard is going to do a Netflix documentary on Princess Diana. Do you? I really don't think so. Now, this is the thing. we've got here Samantha Markle, Meghan Markle's sister, weighing in on this. Now, whether you like her or not, trust her or not, entirely up to you. I'm just reporting on what she's saying here, okay? She's saying, look, hopefully Prince William will have something to say about that, because a 12-year-old with illicit substance issues and limited life experiences with her because of his age, as well as memory challenges, you're right, really can't do justice to her life. It doesn't matter what he believes or says, is Netflix self-sabotaging to justify bankruptcy? Interesting, right? Now, this got me thinking, hang on a minute. Prince William will have something to say about this. And then I saw this tweet from According to Taz. Make sure you subscribe to her on YouTube as well. Saying, I hope Prince William can block this. Okay. So this led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole where I'm thinking, okay, this Princess Diana documentary that is being proposed in the media, right? It's crass. It's distasteful. I wouldn't support it, really, in the grand scheme of things, right? However, could Prince William actually block this? Could he legally send a letter to Netflix and do like a cease and desist on behalf of his passed away mother? Could he do that? And so I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And yeah, based on the information that I found, okay, it's bad news for Prince William. He can't block it based on the research that I found. And so Google here is saying, look, while Prince William has expressed strong disapproval of certain programs and narratives surrounding his mother, Princess Diana, he cannot unilaterally stop them from being produced or aired. He can, however, voice his opinions and encourage responsible media practices. And so you guys might think, well, hang on a minute. He was able to get that Princess Diana panorama interview with the BBC completely banned. Not quite. The BBC can still air the interview, but only under strict conditions that has to be signed off by a special specific BBC board. Let's just put that out there, okay? But generally overall, yeah, the interview has been pretty much banned from being aired, at least in the UK. That's why I said at least in the UK, though, because this interview that Prince William has worked so hard to try and keep under lock and key because of all the controversy surrounding it as to how Martin Bashir actually got this interview in the first place, which was fraudulent. Yeah, he really can't stop even that from being aired. Because here you've got a HBO documentary that used part of that panorama interview in their documentary. And so here, HBO created The Princess, a HBO documentary about Princess Diana that premiered a couple of years ago. And it did feature this panorama interview that Prince William has done so hard to try and keep under lock and key. And the spokesperson for the documentary turned around and said, look, this tells the story of Princess Diana exclusively through archive footage from the time without commentary from today. This interview is shown briefly in context as a moment of historical record. So my point is this, right? Prince William cannot block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana. First and foremost, because even though he's still trying to keep the panorama interview under lock and key and for it not to be shown, he still can't stop that from being shown. Because the HBO documentary has showed it itself on the documentary called The Princess a couple of years ago. The second reason why Prince William cannot block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana, that reason's going to shock you even further. Now, before I continue on that and the research that I found there, Lewis, my big brother Lewis, hello, honey. How you doing? You didn't have to do this, though. Thank you so much for gifting 5 leaderships to some of you lucky alter nerds out there. So everyone say, A up to our newest leaders, courtesy of Lewis from Nerd Report. Make sure you give him a friendly subscribe over on his channel. My goodness, Lewis, thank you so much. And hats in the chat for Lewis right now. Hey up, mate. It was so cool going on your channel earlier on this week and seeing those astronauts finally arrive back home on Earth. Did you see one of the astronauts, though? Her chin, I've seen it all over Twitter. Her chin's like deformed because she was up in space all that time. I hope they're able to fix that for her. Chris Mills, my goodness, wow. Thank you so much for that whopping £50 sugar bucks. Definitely ruining a sugar's day by sending a shiz ton of sugar bucks my way. My goodness. Really, quanto sei bella stasera. Oh, from your Devon Englishman. Amiro l'allenamento per la tua sfida in bicicletta, la mia donazione di sponsorizzazione. Buona fortuna, Steph. Good luck, my handsome. Oh, well, thank you. Just to make you aware, the cycling sportive that I'm doing next week in North Yorkshire, I'm doing a 55-kilometre sportive, cycling sportive. It's my first one that I'm doing. And I'm not doing any sponsors for it. It's just personally for me, because it's my first one, I want to prove that I can do it so I can do my next sportive and then the next sportive, because I really like cycling and I'm really getting into that. So yeah, but thank you so much anyway for the £50 sugar bucks. That's very generous of you, Chris. Thank you so much. Also as well, Sonia Patterson says, would it make a difference if William is king? No. It wouldn't make a difference if William is king, because of the, how do I put this? Because of the next kind of bit that I'm actually going to show you guys, okay? Now, let me just key this up for you, because we're going to get into this right now. The second reason why Prince William can't block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana, based on the research that I've done, is that there was an attempt to trademark the image of Princess Diana and her name. And this was all the way back in the late 90s, right, 98, 99. And it was rejected. The reason why it was rejected, a spokesperson for the patent office said, quote, "We've decided to refuse the application for the images to be a trademark. Anyone is now free to use the images for whatever purpose." Essentially, they've turned around and said that because she's such a major historical figure, it's just something that's beyond being able to be trademarked, essentially, is what the patent office has said back in the late 90s. Now, this was a trademark attempt by the Princess Diana Trust, and they failed. And so anyone can make a documentary. Anyone can create merchandise or anything using Princess Diana's name and her face and not get done for it whatsoever. In other words, Prince Harry can make a Netflix series on Princess Diana and Prince William can't block it at all. It's similar to The Crown on Netflix. If Prince William wanted to block The Crown, he can't do, because of the same thing. Princess Diana, her name and her face isn't able to be trademarked. The trademark attempt in the late 90s, it was rejected by the patent office for the reasons that I've just told you. And so, yeah, you've got a situation here, guys, whereby over the weekend, news has been broken that, there's this potential kind of Princess Diana documentary on Netflix that's going to be made by Prince Harry. The question is, can Prince William block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana? No, he can't. 2 reasons. One, even though he's tried to keep that Panorama interview under wraps and not publicly seen ever again, he still really can't stop it anyway, because you had an HBO documentary that aired it essentially a couple of years ago, right? And B, he can't block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana because Princess Diana, her name and face is not trademarked. There was an attempt in the late 90s to do that, but the Patent Office turned around and said, no, you can't do it. We reject the application. She's a public figure, free reign. Anyone can make a documentary on her, a series on her, a show on her, put her face on any merchandise you want. You're not going to get done for it. So I told you guys you'd be a little bit surprised and shocked with the research that I've been able to find. But the question, can Prince William block Prince Harry's Netflix series on Princess Diana? Based on the research that I've done, sadly, no. Sadly, no. With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I am not done with you yet, because the next story coming up on the Daily Nerd Live for Sunday the 23rd of March 2025 is Meghan Markle getting slammed as straight out of caravan trailer trash and more in a brand new Katie Hopkins rant, guys. We're going to have some fun with that one. But for those watching live on the replay, if you want to hear more misadventures of the gruesome twosome from this channel, then make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think it's unfair that Prince William is unable to block Prince Harry's proposed Netflix series on Princess Diana? Let me know either in the live chat or in the comments down below if you're watching on the replay. With that being said, before we crack on with the second topic, let's see what you guys have been saying in the chat. Through the Looking Glass channel with Alice is saying, look, King Charles would not support this either, but I don't know if he could stop it. No, he can't. He can't. Even King Charles can't stop this based on the research that I found. Because if you take out, the whole Panorama interview situation, right? Prince William, can try and keep that under wraps as much as possible, but he still can't stop anyone from really airing it, no matter how hard he tries. He's got a gentleman's agreement with the BBC, but that's all he's got. King Charles can't block it either because, again, there's no trademark on Princess Diana when it comes to her name and her face. Anyone can use Princess Diana's name and face on literally anything. Quite literally. The sky's the limit and beyond. It's despicable, really, in the grand scheme of things. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I'm just scrolling down. Emily Cheatham says, I think William or Charles would only be able to block things if they were showing false information or narratives. If it's all true, even if it puts the rest of royals in bad light. True. However, Prince Harry will be doing this in America. And in America, you guys have got the First Amendment, which I wish we had here, right? And so Americans have more scope in terms of freedom of speech than what we do here in the UK. So even if Hazard did show false information in any way, shape or form, whether it's intentional, unintentional or whatever, right? It would still be hard to sue Harry for that. Because he's an American resident. And as far as I know, as an American resident, he is protected under First Amendment. I know Netflix are, so yeah, he can't be stopped doing this. There's no way of stopping him doing this at this point, other than Netflix pulling the plug on it, which I think would be the honourable thing for Netflix to do at this point. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Through the Looking Glass channel with Alice says, can the Spencer family stop this? No, for the same reasons. For the same reasons. Princess Diana, her face is not trademarked and her name's not trademarked. Literally anyone can do a documentary on her or a series on her about anything and put a name on anything and put a face on anything because it's not trademarked. So no, based on my research, not even the Spencer family can block this, can stop this. No one can stop this. It's quite scary. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, exactly. The First Amendment that he calls bonkers. I know. The First Amendment that he calls bonkers is the very First Amendment that's going to protect him on this Netflix series if he actually goes through with it. Insane, right? Absolutely insane. With that being said, guys, let's crack on with the next story for today's Daily Nerd Live. Before we do so, congratulations, guys. We actually made it to 10 super chats for today's live stream. We reached the super chat goal, so it does mean that I will be giving you an extra bonus Prince Harry and Meghan Markle story. So stay tuned, guys, because the fourth one will be on its way for today's live stream. With that being said, let's crack on with the second story. Meghan Markle has been labelled as straight out of caravan trailer trash and more in a brand new and hilarious Katie Hopkins rant. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and I am here live for the Daily Nerd, Sunday the 23rd of March 2025. We're here live every Sunday, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern, so if you want to catch this then, that's the way to do it. That's the time to do it. With that being said, when I can get my teeth back in, today's second segment is all about Megsy being labelled as straight out of caravan trailer trash and so much more in a brand new Katie Hopkins rant. So let's get into it, shall we? And let's have some fun. And so here, this was released on the 22nd of March. And yeah, Katie Hopkins has some very choice words to say about our Megsy and Azza, so let's get into it, shall we?
Fucking Meghan Markle's Netflix show. Fucking bint. Straight out the caravan trailer trash. Desperately.
Told you! Straight out of caravan trailer trash. And Katie Hopkins there, I'm telling you, she said that deliberately to reference the straight out of Compton headline, right? That Megsy and Hazza point to as, that's the media being racist, when it really wasn't at all, right?
Clinging onto the heels of anything that would get her fame.
Yep. Like, I don't know, encouraging Prince Hazza to potentially make a Princess Diana documentary on the 30th anniversary to encourage Netflix to extend their deal. Ooh.
Fake tits when she used to be that. That's what she is, which is no problem because, like, I'm all about, like, I support prostitutes. I support.
Is she inferring that Megs is a prostitute? I mean, I'm just asking a question there, not a statement of fact. I'm just asking for a friend.
You know, I love, what's that bar where they wear orange shorts? Hooters. You know,
And also, I'm just asking for a friend here, but is she likening Megsy to a Hooters girl? I'm telling you, Katie Hopkins does have a way with words, don't you think, guys?
what you've got to do. Like, so when she was the briefcase girl, that's who she is. That's who she is. And that's fine.
Exactly. That's fine being a briefcase girl on the Deal or No Deal show in America. Remember that Archetypes episode where Megsy turned around and was like, I was that briefcase girl, and oh my goodness, it was so horrific because they were treating me like a bimbo rather than, you know, appreciating my mind. Dude, like I said before, and I'll say now, doesn't take an Einstein, okay, to literally stand there, look pretty in a dress and open up a freaking briefcase.
It's fine. I love a briefcase girl. Fake tits, pretend to be white, whatever you want.
Pretend to be white. Again, referencing Megsy allegedly, I'm going to have to say allegedly here, you know, trying to promote herself as Caucasian back in the day to try and get movie roles and TV roles. Again, allegedly, okay?
But don't now pretend to be something else, you absolute fucking fraud. She's just a beige bint from hell, isn't she?
Beige bint from hell. I get that. I like that.
I just want to grab her by her overly manicured hair and just go, oh, piss off. Harry was lush before. Like when Harry used to turn up in Vegas, and he had all of these hot girlfriends, right? What was she called? Not Chesney, because that's Chesney Hawkes, and he definitely didn't date her.
Chelsea Davy.
Blonde hair, horsey type, South African. Oh, like he'd have just blonde chicks balanced on his, hello, Exeter, balanced on his nutsack, dressed as a Nazi, naked in Vegas. Fucking yes. That's my kind of prince, right? I mean, that's totally, I'd have gone there any day, even though he's ginger. You know me, I've got a thing. But now, oh, so dull, so soy. Ugh, gag.
Yep. Yeah, that was Katie Hopkins in a new rant about Megxie and Hazza. And I just thought it was absolutely hilarious, right? Everyone's talking about the Catholic priest calling Megxie out, and we're going to get onto that on the third story for today's live stream, so stay tuned for that. But this Katie Hopkins rant seems to be a little bit lost, you know, because the Catholic priest rant is kind of like overshadowing Katie Hopkins' rant there. And so I thought it was really important to kind of include her in today's Daily Nerd Live because I just thought it was funny. I watched that rant for the first time and I was literally busy myself laughing, like laughing my tits off. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I'm like, dude, is she inferring or comparing Megxie to a prostitute? Is she doing the same to a Hooters? Oh my goodness. She does not hold back, I'm telling you. But this is the thing, right? She has a really, really good point, which is, look, you know, no one is buying you, Megs, because we all think, or the majority of us think, that you are fake as shiz. And what have I always said, right? Megxie has a trustability and a likability and a relatability issue. If people don't trust, like, and relate who she is, then people are not going to trust, like, and relate what she's trying to sell us and what she's trying to promote and give to us, right? She's lost before she even starts because she hasn't figured out that trifecta. She hasn't fixed it, right? Can she fix it? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. But you know where Katie Hopkins there in that rant was turning around and being like, you know, I want to, you know, pull her up with her fake manicured hair. She's highlighting, you know, everyone thinking that Megxie is fake. And for me, hell yes, she is. Even more, she's highlighting, look, Megxie ruined Prince Hazza. Prince Hazza back in the day was popular, was well liked, and now he's not. What's the difference between now and then? It's a Megxie. Oh, who would have thunked it? However, I subscribe to a thought whereby I think Hazza was always like that all along. It just took Megxie to come and bring it out of him. Do you know what I mean? But anywho, she then kind of mentions Chelsea Davy, and a lot of us think that Chelsea Davy was the one that got away, right? That is Prince Hazza's real one true love. And thank goodness she actually got away, to be fair, because Chelsea Davy is now living her best life. She's got a family. She's got her own business with the jewelry and everything. And so she's living her best life, and it's absolutely fantastic, right? But, you know, you listen to Katie Hopkins' rant, and I'm sorry, but whether you like her or not, listen to her words. Did you disagree with anything she said? I know I didn't. What do you guys think? With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are because we're going to get on to the third Daily Nerd for today's live stream. What you missed from Meghan Markle being called out by a Catholic priest because she was slammed as a nemesis and so much more. Everyone knows that this Catholic priest has turned around and said, you know, during Lent, watch Prince... Oh, my goodness. I've just had a brain fart and I don't know why. I'm going to leave that in. have fun with that internet, because everyone knows that the Catholic priest has turned around and said, watch Meg's show for penance during Lent. But he actually said so much more that went in on Megsy so much more. So I'm going to tell you guys what you missed from Megsy being called out by the Catholic priest in the third Daily Nerd for today's live stream. So those watching live, stay exactly where you are. Those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for putting up with my brain farts. And until the next time, laters. Okay, and that was the second Daily Nerd for today's live stream. Mason Bennett, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership for the last 21 months. Saying, looking great, Steph. Hope you're doing okay, honey. Loving the hair. Well, thank you. I'm loving the hair too. Oh my God, it's like freedom. It's like all that hair's gone and I just feel so light again. And I kind of feel like I look a little bit sophisticated, even though I'm really not. As soon as I open my mouth, like the whole fantasy is ruined. I understand that. But, you know, I feel like I look a little bit sophisticated and a bit like, I don't know, mature. But I'm really not. Again, I open my gob and that mature fantasy completely fades. I understand that. Let's see what else you guys are saying before we get on to the third story for today's live stream. Omega Red fan. I like my suitcase. Do you know what? I like my suitcase too. I do too. Wendy Marino says, true Catholicism does not support divorce. Correct. I'm actually born a Roman Catholic. I'm now an atheist. Believe what you want to believe. Worship who you want to worship. You got your own freedoms. I'm all Gucci with that. Personally, I'm an atheist. But I was born and brought up as a Roman Catholic. And yeah, true Catholicism does not support divorce. So... yeah, or and by extension of that, remarriage. Or second marriages, should I say. Peyton Sassafras says, I'm hearing more and more reports questioning if the kids really exist. It's not just a few groups, it's full-on reporters. Look, I will always maintain the belief that the children exist, that the Lilibet and Archie do exist. I do question the children that are being shown in Megsy and Hazard's social medias, whether they are actually Lilibet and Archie or just kind of like child actors, so to speak. Just questioning, of course. The thing that I don't believe are the pregnancies. I do believe that the pregnancies were fake. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But I do believe that the children do exist. And I did ask Lady C last year when I had the honour of interviewing her on this channel. I asked her outright, do the children exist? And she says 100% yes. So there we go, guys. Let's see what else you guys are saying before we kick off the third interview. Third topic for today's live stream. Do you know what? My hair got cut off. Looks like some of my brain cells got cut out as well. Oh, Deb C says, I saw that priest interview this morning. Woo woo! Well, hey, well, let's crack on with that. For the third Daily Nerd for this live stream, what you missed for Meghan Markle being called out by a Catholic priest. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. I am filming this on the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition, so if you want to catch it live, you can do every Sunday, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern. That's when you can catch it live. With that being said, in this third segment, I'm going to look into what you missed for Meghan Markle being called out by a Catholic priest, because all the headlines are saying this Catholic priest is turning around and saying, during Lent, you can watch the Netflix show with Love Meghan as penance and drink in the mediocrity. Thing is, though, he said so much more and really called Megsy out and ground her. Oh my goodness, he grinded her so much. It was unreal. And so here, first and foremost, it's been reported everywhere, including the Daily Mail. A priest urging Catholics to watch Meghan's Netflix show as penance and drinking the mediocrity of the series. The priest in question is Father Brendan Kilcoyne, and he discussed the Megsy's new Netflix show in a video on YouTube. He took a swipe at one particular segment of the show in which Megsy collects honey with a beekeeper, claiming that even the bees seem mortified by their riveting conversation. Here's the clip right here. 1 minute 52 seconds. Thanks to Catholic Arena on Twitter for sharing this clip. Let's get into it.
So thank God they've ended up herself and her poor deluded noggins of a husband. Okay? And all right.
Her poor deluded noggins of a husband. I told you, if you were just to read the headlines alone, oh my goodness, you are missing out on so much more gold that this Catholic priest is actually spewing out against Megsy and Hazza.
Say what you like again about the husband and the others. He is a former and distinguished soldier, as are his uncles.
He's not a distinguished soldier. He's called Captain Xbox or something like that for a reason, all right?
As was his father. Say what you like about them. They do not deserve to be connected like this to somebody who is clearly operating at such a shallow level.
They do not deserve to be linked to someone that's operating at such a shallow level. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I recommend, I'm done now. I'm done. Okay. I'm done. Because who's listening anyway? I recommend that you watch some of this. You could do it for Lent. Okay, offered up. You could do it for Lent. I can't
believe that I'm living in a reality where Catholicism is turning around and promoting With Love Meghan, the series, as penance for Lent. Like the Catholicism, the Catholic Church turning around and saying, you want to show penance for Lent? Just watch Megsy's series. I can't believe that I'm in a reality where that is actually happening right now, right here. Like, dude!
Surprised if you don't start enjoying it in spite of yourself. Okay, because as I said, it's cat. It's cat in the Irish sense, meaning that's bloody awful. All right? But it's so cat. It's catissimo. It's so cat. It's actually quite good. Okay? It's actually quite good. It's enjoyable. So get yourself, if you're not off them for Lent, a packet of wine gums or some popcorn, right?
Well, as an ex kind of Roman Catholic, I've already done my penance then. I watched it live on this channel, guys. I did a live watch party on this channel. Started with the first episode right up till the end of, I think, episode 8 at the end of the series. By the end of it, my goodness, I lost a few brain cells even then at that point. So, based on what this Catholic priest is saying, dude, I've already done my penance. Yes!
Sit back and you just drink in the mediocrity and savour the narrow escape that one of the most distinguished royal lions in the world has just had. That's what I'm going to say to you. As a good Irishman, I say, God save the king. And he's going to need it.
If you were just to look at the headlines, right? And just take the headlines and that would be it. Guys, you would be missing out on so much more gold from this Catholic priest. Oh my goodness. Dude went in. Yeah, Emily, exactly. Now that's a great priest. I know. Tell me about it. Library lizard, popcorn with flour sprinkles. Yeah, he should have said with the get your popcorn and wine gums with your flour sprinkles. Oh my goodness, that would literally be the cherry on the cake, or the flour sprinkles on pretty much everything. Oh, SW says, love this priest so much. I know, right? This priest has got some sass to him, and I'm all here for it. I really, really am. Flapper27 says that this priest is so cool. I know. Angela says, that's hilarious. Couldn't put it better myself. Yeah. I know. Janie D says, I didn't agree with the distinguished soldier bit, but the rest was spot on. Yeah, I didn't agree with that either because, again, you've got a situation where Prince Harry is not called, Bunker Harry or Captain Xbox for nothing. Like, literally. Come on. He's not a distinguished soldier. He really, really isn't. He never even got his wings. Prince William got his wings. Hazard didn't. Yep. What else you guys are saying? Emily says, maybe I'd have listened in church if he was my priest. Maybe. Lisa H68 Hall says, he's definitely honest. I'll give him that. Yep. Yeah. And I like an honest priest. I do. Let's put it this way, right? How long do you think until the Sussex squad go after him, if they haven't done so already? Like, if the Sussex squad went after a priest? Oh, dude! That would just be despicable on, like, the next level, really, at the end of the day. Don't you think? Do you guys think that the Sussex squad wouldn't give a shiz and would go after this Catholic priest for calling Megsy out? What do you guys think? If you're watching live, let me know in the live chat. If you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comments down below. On your way out, whether you're watching live or on the replay, please make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe for more news on the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. For those that are watching live, stay exactly where you are because we've got the fourth bonus Hazza and Megsy story for you, so stay tuned for that. For those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces, and until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, guys, and that was the third story for today's Alternate Live. Let's see what you guys are saying before we get on to the bonus Hazza and Megsy story for today's live stream. Sarge is hashtag God save the priest. Yep. Patricia Emad says, yeah, they're idiots, they'd do it. Mic Drop Lisa says, they go after everyone else. Cynthia C61 says, yeah, they would go after him. Yeah. Zephyr K9 says, I think they would go after him. Yeah. Wow, CM in the chat saying, yay, first time I'm watching your video live. Hey up, CM. Well, thank you so much for joining into today's live stream. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much for tuning in. TX Kit Kat, thank you so much for the $1.99 sugar bucks, ruining a sugar's day by sending some sugar bucks my way. Saying, God save the king. Amen. Amen. Angela Dawn says, I believe the Sussex squad would go after a priest since they consider Meghan their god. Couldn't have said it better myself. With that being said, let's get on to your bonus story for today's live stream. If you remember at the beginning of this live stream, I did say that I was going to set a new super chat goal, and it would be if we get to 10 super chats within the hour, then I would give you a bonus Hazza and Megsy gruesome twosome story. We got to that goal, so as promised, I'm going to give you the bonus story that I've got lined up, which is Prince Hazard has been accused of hating America by a think tank who now want him questioned at the US border. What the deuce is going on? Let me tell you right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught my eye. And oh my goodness, yes, I am filming this for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition that happens every Sunday, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern, so that's the time to catch me live at that point. In the meantime, for the bonus alternate live story, I'm going to go into how Prince Harry's been accused of hating America by a think tank who now wants him questioned at the border. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Well, let's jump into it right now. Prince Harry, first and foremost, faces fresh visa headache as think tank wants him questioned at the US border. Who's the think tank in question? Of course, it's none other than the Heritage Foundation. I've been reporting on the Prince Harry Visa Heritage Foundation court situation since the very beginning. Any updates? I'm going to give you guys. Here's an update. So, yeah, we've got the Heritage Foundation saying that Hazard now should be questioned at the US border the next time he travels, just days after they said that they will appeal to try and get Prince Hazard's visa documents made public. And so the Heritage Foundation's Niall Gardner told The Sun, quote, he, as in Hazard, should be questioned at the US border when he returns from wherever he travels. These illicit substances are illegal in the US. This is a new era of immigration enforcement in the US, and the rules are being strictly enforced by the new US administration. And that's true, right? I mean, I'm seeing on a daily basis more news of President Trump deporting, so many illegal immigrants. I see, queues of them, going up to the airplane and, being deported and everything. So, yeah, it definitely is a new era, it seems, in America when it comes to immigration being strictly enforced. Now, here we go. The same think tank, Heritage Foundation, have also accused Hazard of hating America and have called upon him to essentially self-deport, to leave on his own terms, to leave America now. We've got the Heritage Foundation's lawyer, Samuel Dewey, claiming that, the Heritage Foundation will push for an appeal to try and get Hazard's visa documents published publicly, and suggested that, look, if Hazard does not like President Trump, then he should just go home. Now, Samuel Dewey claimed that in one of the hearings last April that there was a mismatch between the Department of Homeland Security and the State Department files. He told the Mail, quote, if he'd say I used illicit substances or was in on a diplomatic visa, that would be in the Department of Homeland Security files. Then you wouldn't have this situation where the judge says, I don't have the full story. That's what we read from these documents. He also slammed Hazard for criticising President Trump with his latest jibe, believed to be during his speech at the Invictus Games in Canada earlier this year, when Hazard said that there's weak moral character in the world. When Hazard said that, a lot of people were insinuating that Hazard was essentially directed his comment to President Trump. Now, Samuel Dewey turned around and says, look, as far as I'm concerned, he's clearly in a country that he clearly hates. He's clearly furious at the American voters and attacking them for the result of the 2024 election. Hazard should just go home. It's absolutely extraordinary that Hazard makes a statement that can be seen as him attacking President Trump, attacking the leader of a country that he is residing in, that he even said he's an American resident now, based on the travelist documentation that was released last year, right? He put on there, I'm an American resident. Well, if you're an American resident, then you need to respect, as a resident from another country, you're not even born American. He needs to respect the leader of that land and respect the will of the people, the democracy of the people that voted for President Trump. Instead, he's insinuating that he's got weak moral character, that let me rephrase. Instead, Prince Hazard is insinuating, for a lot of us, that President Trump has weak moral character, this, that, and the other. Indicating that, as far as the Heritage Foundation is concerned, he hates America. I mean, Prince Hazard has even turned around and said the First Amendment is bonkers. Clearly, you could look upon that as Hazard hating America even more. Because he is negatively commenting on two of one of the biggest pillars in American society, which is the presidency and the First Amendment. That's not good for Hazard to do, really, in the grand scheme of things. So no wonder the Heritage Foundation is accusing him of hating America and turning around and saying, look, if you hate America so much, if you're commenting on America negatively so much, then why the frick are you here in the first place? Self-fricking depart. Leave now. Go somewhere that you really do like. And now they're going one step further and saying, do you know what? The next time he goes out, when he comes back, question him at the border. Question him at the border. Because it's a different era. It's the era of President Trump. And he is enforcing those immigration laws to the hill and back. I wish Keir Starmer here in the UK would do the same thing. He's not. We need a revolution of our own in the UK. I'm telling you that right now. You Americans had your revolutions a couple of centuries ago. I think we need our own UK British revolution. Let's put it that way. We desperately need one. But I'm kind of going off topic there. Going back to Prince Hazard here. Do you think it's wrong that the Heritage Foundation has accused him essentially of hating America? Do you think it's wrong that he should be questioned at the border the next time he leaves America and then tries to come back? What do you guys think? I mean, the Heritage Foundation is really going gung-ho on this. They're really pushing. They're really giving it everything they've got, all barrels aimed at this thing to try and get sight of Prince Harry's visa documentation to see if he lied or not. And it's specifically two questions they're looking at. Has he ever taken illicit substance usage in the past, and has he ever broken any laws of the land? I'm paraphrasing here, but they're basically the two questions they're looking for, right? If Hazard has nothing to hide, and through his spokesperson, even Hazard said, well, I've answered everything correctly, I haven't hidden anything. Well, if you haven't hid anything, then at the very least, release those two questions and the answers that you've given. End this once and for all. But he won't. Why? Well, it leads on to what has he got to hide? And with Prince Hazard negatively commenting not only on the First Amendment, but also seemingly President Trump as well, based on the speech that he made in the Invictus Games in Canada about a month ago now. Yeah, no wonder he's being accused of hating America. No wonder the Heritage Foundation's turning around saying, if you hate America that much, freaking go back home. Go back to UK, where you came from. Oh, and if you do come back to the US, I think you should be questioned at the border. I think you should be questioned at the border too. Damn freaking right. What do you guys think? With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you lot yet. But for those watching live on the replay, on your way out, please make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. Do you think Prince Harry hates America? Would you like to see him questioned at the border the next time he leaves America and tries to come back? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're watching live, let me know in the live chat. With that being said, again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Okay, and that was your fourth bonus story for today's Daily Nerd Live. Thank you so much to everyone that contributed to today's super chat goal. Really appreciate your faces. And thank you so much for, supporting and allowing me to, test out that super chat goal feature. I think we might do it again, to be fair. So thank you so, so much for, your support and, just your understanding, your forbearance as I play around with the new features that YouTube is giving us content creators. With that being said, let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat before we end today's live stream. Let's have a look. Mic drop Lisa, I'm just being quiet tonight. You all right, love? Is there something wrong? As if hell has frozen over. You okay, love? Let me know. Emily Cheatham says, I don't care about Hazard's medical record, but if you told the truth on taking illicit substances, then release it. Yeah, my sentiments exactly. My live stream on Friday, right, was reporting on this notion that people are thinking that the visa documentation that was released earlier on this week, which really wasn't that much of a release because it was all redacted, right? But there are people turning around and saying, oh, there's this bit right here that indicates that maybe he had an STT in the past or currently has one or whatever. And I'm there and I'm thinking, I don't give a shiz. And no one should either. His medical records should stay private, just like everyone else, right? Everyone has a right to privacy, especially when it comes to your medical records and your medical history. Whether he has that or not, an STD is neither here nor there. I don't give a shiz and no one else should either. The main kind of focus should be those two questions. Have you ever taken illicit substances in the past, and have you ever broken any laws in the past? That's it. Focus on the reason why the Heritage Foundation is going after the visa documentation in the first place, what triggered it all, which is Prince Hazard admitting in the book Spare that he took illicit substances in the past. Anything else that you focus on, to me, is just a red herring. It's wasted energy, if that makes sense, right? And who cares if he has one or not? Let's put it this way, right? What's going to give you the biggest chance of being denied entry in America? Is it because you've got an STD? Nah. America will still let you in, generally speaking, regardless of that, right? But if you have a history of taking illicit substances in the past, America will block you on that one, like they did with Kate Moss, like they did with Nigella Lawson and various other people in the past, right? And so the question then is, look, if you blocked all these other famous people in the past from entering America because of their illicit substance use in the past, why don't you do the same for Prince Hazard? Why aren't you keeping the same energy with him? So, again, it's just kind of proving my point in the way of, look, whether he had an STD or not, it's no one's business, and it's no one should care, and it's no consequence anyway, because if he did have an STD, that's not really generally going to block him from going into America. The chances are more high of him being blocked in America with his illicit substance use in the past. When you compare it to the examples of, again, Kate Moss, Nigella Lawson, and the rest of them, right? Do you see where I'm coming from here? So, Emily, exactly. I don't care about Hazard's medical record. Whether he had it or not in the past, it's no consequence to us. It's whether he told the truth on taking the illicit substances on the application. And as Prince Hazard's spokesperson has said in the past, he answered everything correctly and gave everything the full answer, right? Well, if you gave the full answer, then why not release it? What have you got to hide with those two particular questions and how they answered it in the first place? Come on. Come on. Dudes. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Sarge is like, what a twat. I know, right? Lee Walton, thank you so much for being so kind here, saying keep doing what you're doing, Steph, telling it like it is. We appreciate it, kid. Well, thank you. I may have opinions that you guys may not agree with or you may be shocked with, but I'm going to give you my opinions nonetheless because they're my opinions and I'm not going to fake it and that's it. I'm just going to say it as it is in my head anyway. Wendy Marino, US preferential treatment. That is the suspicion. That is definitely the suspicion. TX Kit Kat says, yes, do question Harry when he re-enters. Yep. Karina A, thank you so much for the 99-cent sugar bucks. And oh, cute. A little rainbow unicorn. I've never seen that one before. Thank you so much, Karina, for that one. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Omega Red Fan says, felony charges are the target. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sky says, or Ski, however you pronounce that, says, it should be questioned. He is not a US citizen. I think he should be questioned too. He's not a US citizen. Resident, yes. Citizen, no. No. Stephen Magnus, the big SM in the house yet again. Thank you so much for the £5 sugar bucks. Saying, I think one of the redacted files was the police report on Harry's naked romp and possible illicit substance use in Vegas. Probably also speeding tickets, etc. This is a thing, right? To me, right, I do not care about anything else on his visa application other than those two questions. Has he taken illicit substances in the past? And has he broken any laws of the land? That's it. That's it. We need to see how he answered those. If he answers them truthfully, Gucci. If he didn't, And the fact that the DHS is dragging their heels in not releasing it, to me, gives rise to the question, what have you got to hide? If even through Prince Harry's spokesperson, they're turning round and saying he put everything down, didn't miss a beat, didn't lie by omission or anything else, everything's there, it's all truthful, then respectfully then, what have the DHS got to hide? Release it. Release at least those two questions and how he answered them. The rest, it don't matter. Really don't. In my humble opinion, anyway. And to be fair, when it comes to Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Let's be real here. Come on. Wendy Marino says, but Steph, he's still doing illicit substances in the US. Allegedly. We gotta say allegedly here. Allegedly. I've heard that he allegedly partakes in the green, which is legal in California. I believe recreational and medicinal. Anything else? I'm not too sure. Let's see. Emily Cheatham says, customs don't want us to know he had preferential treatment, I reckon. Yeah, because if it comes out that he did get preferential treatment, then they're also exposing themselves for being corrupt. And they don't want that, right? They don't want that. But yeah, guys, with that being said, that is it for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. I want to thank absolutely everyone that tuned in live for today's show. Thank you so much to everyone that, kept me company until the end. Thank you to everyone that kept me company in the live chat, that liked this live stream, that was able to and generous enough to send some sugar bucks my way. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone as well that jumped in today's gifting wars. You guys are amazing. And thank you to everyone that subscribed, not only to this channel, but also as well to my second channel, Political Nerds. If you haven't done so already, please support the expansion of the Altiverse and subscribe to my second channel right here, the link of which is pinned right at the top of the live chat. If you're watching on the replay, it is in the description bar below. I do have a degree in international relations and security studies. I did 3 years of conflict resolution, sociology, politics, ethics, philosophy. My dissertation was on the ethics and philosophy of international terrorism. So this is actually my academic wheelhouse, and I'm having so much fun on that channel over there. So if you want to join in with the fun with me, you guys know what to do. Subscribe to Political Nerds. The link again is pinned right at the top of the live chat. It's also in the description bar below. MPNG Creed Menace, thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership for the last 31 months, saying, hey up Steph, I would like to ask for you anyone to support a petition for care homes. I'll send the link at a later date. I'll look out for that link. Thank you so much, MPNG Creed Menace, for that. Appreciate you, my friend. With that being said, enjoy the rest of the weekend wherever you are in the world. Enjoy next week. Monday to Thursday, you're going to get your daily nerds, 3 a day. You're also going to get 3 a day over on Political Nerds as well. Friday is going to be slightly different. You're going to get 3 Daily Nerd videos. There's not going to be a live stream next Friday. The reason being is because it's the night before my sportif, my cycling sportif, and I'm not going to be here. I am going to be travelling to where the sportif is going to be. So there's not going to be a live stream on Friday, but instead you're going to get 3 videos from me. So even more content, don't worry. But I will be live again this time next week, Sunday, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. I'll let you know how the sportif went. Did I finish it? Did I beat my personal record? Guys, you'll all find out next Sunday, in addition to more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Appreciate all your faces, and until the next time, laters.